There are absolutely no words to describe season 4 of Insecure. I am wearing this onesie piece from my boutique that I'm going to be starting up pretty soon. I will let you guys know, I'll keep you updated, but it's nice, it's comfortable, it's good material, and I think it's good for all movie lovers, mostly the women, to have something comfortable to wear as we are binging and watching our favorite shows and movies. We start off with Condola basically giving Issa Rae guidance on how to prepare for a mixer in the courtyard, because now, of course, Issa is the apartment manager, and now she's able to pull strings to throw this block party and to get potential sponsors. That was the whole intent of it. Condola and Lawrence are together. Of course, when Issa finds this out, it blows her mind. It blows all of our minds, because it's like, why would they bring Lawrence back, first of all? It's just the whole thing is messy. And of course, you see how that affects their relationship, because they were getting along so well to the point that Molly was getting jealous of their friendship. And then we see that Molly is starting to develop feelings for Andrew, which I guess you could say was unexpected. He could be the one for her, because we see that Molly, throughout all the seasons, she throws guys away like it's nothing. But Andrew, I felt like initially when I first saw him and the interaction between Molly and Andrew, like it just seemed like it could work. Wrong. All of these problems start to ensue, and Molly is struggling to kind of open up with Andrew, and it's just that's what really, I think that's what really ends up hurting their relationship, is the fact that Molly's not used to being in a relationship, at least a long-term one. But I think that she felt as though Andrew could potentially be the one. I know she was a little bit hesitant, but I think she kind of stayed with Andrew because she felt as though she didn't want to let another relationship fail. But in my opinion, I think that was for the wrong reason, and the relationship ended up failing anyway. And then you have Issa and Condola, who finally confront each other and fully start talking about how they feel. Like, Issa is more shocked that she happens to be with one of her exes, and she starts making cracks about, oh, maybe I should get with one of your exes, and I thought that was hilarious. And it kind of hurts Issa and Condola's relationship. However, they do try to find a way to move forward, just without trying to mention Lawrence's name in any of their conversations. And then you have Lawrence, who is getting wind of Issa and Condola talking about him, and he doesn't necessarily like that, so he confronts Issa about that, just saying, hey, like, please don't talk about us. I'm trying to find like a real connection, until that real connection fails, because I think what really alerted Lawrence was the fact that Condola had mentioned that she never wanted to get married again. But then again, was Lawrence really even looking for a real connection? Because he had a real one with Issa. It's just that he was too lazy to even care about Issa's feelings. I mean, he had no job, and Issa was kind of carrying on the financial burden, which led her to cheat on him. And then he gets mad at her, and then he leaves. They finally break up. And then for the fact that he had to come back for this season, I'm like, why? Like, I thought she was moving on. You have Nathan in the picture now, which I think that they should be together. That's just my opinion. What do you think? But I think that she's so much better with Nathan, even though he's sort of like a casual fling, I guess you can call it. But they have such a connection that I feel like when Lawrence came back into the picture and then ended up breaking up with Condola, it was because of the events that have happened in the past that kind of brought him back to Issa. They were relying on the feelings of the past, but Issa needs to just look forward, run away, and keep going. Don't go back to Lawrence. And that's one of the things I love about Insecure, because the writing is always on point. I can't think of an episode that I can say that I didn't like, because they always know how to keep that energy up and to kind of shake the foundation within the show. That's something that a lot of shows could actually learn from, by the way. The relationship between Issa and Molly, I love that they added that dynamic in season 4, because yeah, they were girls, in season 1 through season 3, but I'm glad that they kind of shook that foundation by having them sort of distance themselves from each other. And of course, it hurt their relationship, hearing them go at it with each other and even almost getting into a fight at one of Issa's events. I mean, I can't believe Molly. Molly really needed to worry about her own relationship, because her and Andrew, I knew that it wasn't going to last long. I mean, it couldn't have, because yes, they had a sort of connection in the beginning, but their connection was kind of weird. It was strange. It was nice to see Lawrence and Issa connect, just simply because, for me personally, I love Jay Ellis. I think he's a wonderful actor, and it was nice to see him on the screen again with her. I think they do well together as far as their job, but as far as their characters, they need to stay far away from each other. I knew it wasn't any good. I knew it. That scene when Tiffany went missing and they went over to Derek's place because Derek couldn't find Tiffany, and so Kelly was calling everybody, and because that's her best friend, like, she rides for her, she dies for her, even giving Tiffany's mama an attitude. So they went looking for Tiffany, and they were on the bus, and once they realized that they passed the hotel that Tiffany was staying at, Kelly was like in full protection mode, and you had the guy sitting next to Kelly, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're like the inner black woman that lives in me," or something like that. And she was like, "Look, I don't have time," and blah blah blah. And so they try to get the bus driver to stop, and he's like, "No, you have to wait. You have to get behind the line in order for me to talk to you." So they get behind the line, and he was like, so what was that? It was hilarious. And then the bus driver happens to discover a cop that was sitting next to him, so he was like yelling for the cop, trying to signal him. And then they all got out, and they were walking towards the hotel, and then that's when they run into the bus driver and the dude that was sitting next to Kelly, and that dude quickly turned against Kelly and was like, "Yeah, that's them. They were trying to And so they had this full-on situation where they're arguing, and you had the cop, and he was like, no, not me, not today, nope." Meaning, basically, he was referencing, like, I'm not gonna be one of them cops that gets caught up in a racist situation. He like completely backed out from it. Kelly was giving all types of attitude, trying to fight the dude that was sitting next to her on the bus. That scene was hilarious, and as hilarious as that scene was, I don't feel like it was necessary, because it kind of threw us off of our mission and our goal, which was to find Tiffany. But it was funny. The writers did a good job with that scene. So what I hope to see for season 5 is, I really hope they dive a bit deeper into Tiffany's storyline with what she's going through with postpartum, because if you're going to introduce something as heavy as that, you have to, it can't be a situation where it's just in one episode, or because we know it's been lingering, but we have to cover that. We have to cover that issue. Yeah, it's just only right. I would love to see Issa completely drop Lawrence, and I would like to see Lawrence move on to San Francisco, or I don't know, if he stays in LA and co-parents with Condola. If they agreed to do that, that's great, but we don't need to see his face anymore. I don't need to see his face anymore. I hope to see Molly grow and see that the issue is not everybody else, it's you. You have to look deep within and see that you are the problem. And I think she has the desire to be in a relationship. It's just that she needs to learn how to kind of stop being controlling and stop being judgmental, especially of her best friend, Issa. You can offer advice, you can counsel people all day, but at the end of the day, people are going to make their own decisions. But that's your friend. So be there for her the way that she needs you to be there for her. If you need to tell her the truth sometimes, go ahead and do that, because that's what friendship is about. Sometimes we have to call each other out on certain things and patterns that we see. But at the same time, still don't be a hater. And I would love to see Kelly get what she wants, which is, in my opinion, I think she actually she's interested in having children and, having a man even, and settling down just like her best friend Tiffany. So I would actually like to see her work towards that, even though she is the comedic relief. I mean, doesn't matter, she still deserves to be happy. And I don't know what they're gonna do with Daniel, because he was briefly in season 4 since Issa was laying her head on his pillow. But I hope he grows too. So yeah, and then of course they're gonna throw in more complex situations, but leave the ghosts of the past alone, please. Then you have Condola coming back into the picture and telling Lawrence, after he had a nice little, romantic date, if you want to call it, with Issa, but she came back and told him that she's pregnant. Oh, Lawrence. And he had just got a new job in San Francisco and was asking Issa, like, hey, so is this something that you want to do with me because I'm moving to San Francisco? You established that this is a relationship and you want to make things work, and you went down memory lane. Now we're asking each other, oh, are you sure you're friends and all that stuff? Like, who gives a crap about her friends? She obviously said that she needed to move in order to make she was willing to make new friends and live a new life and do something new. I mean, her new job, because finally she has a job. I mean, did you guys see that credit score, by the way, when she was in her friend Kelly's office? It was like 432. She came a long way. And she still has ways to go, but you know, it can't be with Lawrence. It can't. You can't fix that. She's gonna have to fix it herself. But finally, now that she has this job, she's doing things the right way and learning how to make money and promote, and she's mingling with other people and making, you know, trying to create new circles and new relationships. So for her to be like, yeah, I will, you know, move to San Fran with you. The fact that he had to ask that tells me that he wasn't sure himself if he wanted to be with her. I just thought it was amazing just to see the look on her face, and it's a look I've never seen. You could tell that she was hurt, but you could also tell that she was really angry. I mean, the woman had to go on her porch and smoke a blunt afterwards. Like, that's how you know. So this was a wonderful season. I think there was a lot of wrenches thrown in. I was shocked. The episodes were always high energy. They were good. And when there were times that they were like dramatic and stuff, like you were there for it and you really felt for each and every one of these characters. I mean, I can't believe the relationship between Molly and Issa, like, it deteriorated right in front of our very eyes. That basically leads them back to square one, the drawing board of having each other again. So like, comment, and subscribe, and even share my video. Sharing is caring, and I will see you guys in the next review.